27 races in 7 countries across 3 continents, and it's all come down to this. Welcome to Jello, where the season kicked off just 10 weeks ago for the final 3 races of the Team Heart Online Touring Car Series. This time we're on the 3.2 mile full circuit for 3 10-lap races. The average speeds around this track are knocking on the door of 100 miles an hour, despite these cars being based on road-going vehicles. Taking a look at the championship, leader Saban needs to just finish the first race to be confirmed as the champion, but the battle for second is nowhere near as clear cut. Just 14 points split DI Ball and Rob Racing UK, with MTG Vicious closing in behind. 5th place is still undecided as UKOG Crony has been in hot pursuit of Captain Store. Before we go racing, let's take a look at this track on board the Chevrolet of Cubs 1979. So across the start-finish line to start our lap here at Mugello circuit. We're going to head over this blind crest. You're up to maximum speed here, just grabbing 6th gear, up to around about 150 miles an hour before we head into the braking zone at turn number 1. You want to use those grey strips on your left-hand side to mark your braking point and stay nice and tight to the apex of this corner. You can make a lot of time when you're racing against other rivals. First of 2 chicanes in the first sector of the lap. Hammer the curb on the way into the first one, hammer the curb on the way into the second one. A little bit of a lift so you don't end up running wide on that gravel on the exit. Now we've got a short straight before we head into the second of the chicanes. Another left entry one here. Use all the curb on the way in, a slight bit of a lift, and use all the curb on the way out again. Try not to touch that gravel on the exit, as that will lose you a lot of time. Into a really fast section of the circuit. 4th gear as you swing into this right-hander. You're going downhill, so it's easy for the car to start running away with you, and you don't want to carry too much speed, otherwise you'll end up on the curb and in the gravel on the exit. This section, you want to take a tiny bit of a lift. It's really fast in 4th gear. Really easy for the car to unsettle, to get a big slide on and lose a lot of time. Now we're heading up the hill to an exit, so the exit here is really important. Into another chicane. Right entry for this one. Use all the curb on the way into the first one. Try not to run too wide as it does tighten up for the second apex, but you can use all of the curb on the way in and the way out. Now we're heading downhill towards a hairpin. This one is banked. You take it in 3rd gear. Again, keep the nose of the car really tight into this corner. It's quite easy for it to wash out wide. Now we're heading through to another chicane. This is the fastest one on the circuit. You are absolutely flat out in race trim, just grabbing 5th gear on the exit. You see we've got a run on the Mercedes as we head downhill into the final corner on the lap. It's a really wide open corner. Taking in 4th gear, it's really easy for the nose to wash out like we have done here. You see the Mercedes has got a better exit than us, but we're going to get the power down, use all the curb as we run towards the start-finish line to complete our lap at Mugello. Now that's complete, let's head down to the grid for the start of race number 1. So it's lights out and away we go. The 2 Mercedes get a decent start off the front row. Bad start for the Honda. The Chevrolet's already starting to get himself through. That's UKOG Crony getting himself past W810 Tom there in the Carspunk Civic. But it is a Mercedes 1, 2, 3, 4 as Track Saban gets himself down the inside of Crony. At the start, looks like there's contact in the background. Maybe some cars turn around. Not quite sure there, but Bohr is now going for 2nd place on founding by Biss. Bohr's just got himself into the whole shot position as Crony's now trying to come around the outside of Saban. That'll be a brave move if that works for him, but it doesn't look like it has. Now we head down into the 4th gear section of the track. It's Rob Race that leads from DI Ball, founded by Biss 3rd. UKOG Crony's there in 4th place. You see Cubs behind. It's going around the outside of the Stealth Racing BMW. Fantastic move there from the Chevrolet, as it looks like you've got Pronag now trying to get past the BMW as well behind. We take another look there. That's Pronag going for it. He's really sideways. On board with Saban. This is the battle for 1st position with Rob Race UK. Saban's been charging him down over the last couple of laps. This Mercedes is fantastic on the brakes. So you head through here. Rob's a little bit wide there as you head through the exit of the chicane. That's going to allow Saban to get right on the back of him. Slipstream now into this hairpin. Means he's probably going to be able to have a good run. He's looking towards the outside already. That'll be a good move if he can pull it off. He's looking at it. Race has got him covered though. Rob's just about got Saban covered there in the Mercedes. As they head through the chicane, heading towards the final section of the lap. You can see the guys behind are starting to get themselves amongst each other. That looks like Crony's trying to find a move past the ball. Contact between the 2 Mercedes, heading around into the final corner. Saban's looking towards the outside. Rob's looking to cover him. He's run a little bit wide though. That's going to allow Saban down the inside, and championship leader takes the lead of this race. So this the fight for 3rd position now between Bohr, Crony. You've got Cubs and founded by Biss going at it. You take a look on board with this is Cubs as we head up the final sector of the lap. He goes for a move down the inside, doesn't quite get it done. Foundy's got a good run on Crony ahead though. He's side by side heading into the braking for the chicane. Will he get that move done? Yes, that move's all done and dusted already. That means the Mercedes are now running 1, 2, 3 and 4 once again. But Crony's got a decent run out of the chicane. He's going to go side by side with Foundy by Abyss. We head into the penultimate section of the circuit. Foundy's running a little bit wide. That's going to allow the Chevrolet down the inside as we head into the flat out chicane. And that's both Chevrolets got themselves past Foundy by Abyss there. A little bit of contact. Oh, the Mercedes is off towards the gravel. Crony's been catching Bohr over the last couple of laps. He's right on the bumper of the Mercedes now as you go on board with him as we head towards the start-finish line to put another lap in the book. The pair of them are side by side. The Chevrolet definitely has the legs on the Mercedes at this stage of the race, so it's going to be a case of last of the late breakers. Lock up there from Crony in the blue Chevrolet. The pair have gone wide. That's going to allow Cubs into this. I did say it might happen, but just about the pair of them hang on. So this is W8 and Tom Pronag, founded by Abyss, starting to get in amongst each other. That Civic's not quite had the early pace that it did, and that's allowed the Mercedes and MTG Vicious behind to start gaining on him. That Civic looks really tail happy as we ride on board now with Pronag. A little bit of contact. Tom has to go towards the grass to avoid spinning, but the Civic's all lost. Foundy's through. The Civic's off towards the barriers. That's allowed Vicious through as well. On board with Cubs now, he has been catching Bohr and Crony. The pair of them are still going at it. Bohr goes down the inside of Crony. This is going to be a good move if it comes off at one of the fastest parts of the track. The pair of them go wide. Cubs has got the pair of them. Fantastic move from the Chevrolet to gain 2 positions and move up to 3rd place. Crony's been getting back on terms with Cubs over the last lap or so. Cubs is not going to have this 3rd place. Crony down the inside. Good move if this can come off. 3rd place up for grabs for UKOG Crony here, but Cubs is not going to let him have it. As we head through the chicane, Crony's just got ahead. Cubs thinks better of it. He lives to fight another day. So catching that battle in front has been MTG Vicious. That is Crony, Cubs and Bohr in front of him. He's been bearing down on them over the last couple of laps. A little bit of dust kicked up there. I'd say Bohr's gone a little bit wide. He's really closing in on him now. So Bohr and Vicious could be having a bit of a fight as we head through this chicane and up towards the tricky hairpin. Bohr's run a little bit wide again. He's got himself on the gravel. That's going to allow the Honda. He's already got the move done before they head into the braking zone. So that is MTG Vicious now. He's up into 5th position. Honda's had a fantastic run already. You see the Chevrolets are really getting them into it in front. So that could bring him into that fight a little bit more. Now Bohr losing time. He's got Foundy by Abyss behind him. Bohr runs a little bit wide again. The tyres really must be shot on that Mercedes. Bohr is starting to struggle. See Foundy now. He's going to be looking for a move into this back sector. Bohr's had a couple of problems in this sector already. He runs really wide on the curb. Tyres on that Mercedes really must be gone. A little bit unsettled there, and he's off and in the gravel again. So once again, coming across line, take victory. Track Saban unchallenged at the top. The championship leader notches up yet another victory and confirms himself as the champion. Behind, it's Cubs. He gets himself a 1st podium of the series on his return. He's only had 6 races back and he's already on the podium positions. So let's take a look at the full results. Track Saban with the win. Rob Racer UK in 2nd, meaning he can move up into 2nd in the championship. Cubs 1979 in 3rd. UKOG Crony MTG Vicious round out the top 5. Founded by Abyss, DNA Bohr, Pronag Racing 8th. R. Greenwood in 9th with BMW, Captain Store rounds out the top 10, Penfold in the Mercedes in 11th, and Devil's Boogeyman rounds out the top 12. Next we're going to head to race number 2. The grid goes off the finishing positions in this race, so how you see them there is how they'll line up. So lights out and away we go. Solid start there for the pair of Mercedes, even better start for the 2 Chevrolets. They've got up the inside and the outside of Rob Racer, so he's going to have to fight quite hard to hold on to 2nd position as he's heading towards turn number 1 for the 1st time. Hard on the brakes, Cubs and Crony look like they've got themselves past. Crony's definitely passed. Rob's been turned around, he's off the road. That Cubs has turned him around there. There's a couple of Mercedes have managed to get past there. But Saban leads through turn number 1 and 2 into the 1st of the 2 chicanes. Crony's there in 2nd place. We're going to go on board with the Chevrolet sporting a new livery for tonight. nice metallic blue, celebrating the end of the season. Heading into the second chicane now, Saban still leads. Let's have a look who's in third. That's Pronag there in third position. DI Ball there in fourth. We're going to go on board with him now. He's had a good run on Pronag. Just been kicked up there as the Chevrolet's gone wide. As we head into the fast-flowing sector towards the back end of the circuit now. You see Vicious has got himself up over the curb. Let's see where that's. Balls off, he's off and wide. So there's now the battle for fifth position. You got R. Greenwood and founded by Biss going at it now. The BMW's having quite a solid run, but it looks like the Mercedes has a better run coming up towards the hairpin. Hard on the brakes as we take a look, see what happens here. Vicious is making moves. Cubs is out wide, but that is founded by Biss down the inside of Greenwood. Doesn't manage to get the move done. The Case Pack BMW lives to fight another day as we head through the fast chicane. Vicious looks like he might be able to have a move now on founded by Biss. You take a look, Vicious definitely has the legs on that Mercedes. Under braking though, the Mercedes gets him back. Was there a little bit of contact there between Greenwood? And that's allowed the AMS Oils Honda to get down the inside of the pair of them. Fantastic move there from the Honda. He's having a run. Now we go on board with MTG Vicious. This is the battle over 7th position. That Honda has got the legs. These cars are mechanically the same, but Vicious obviously has that car set up for straight line speed. It looks like Bohr now is going to get involved in that as well. So that's now 3 cars fighting over 7th position. Falls down the pair of them. Great move, but the AMS Honda just holds on. A little bit of contact there further up. That is Greenwood and Foundy going at it again. Foundy's down the inside. The AMS Honda's just about got clear. On board of the Case Pack BMW to head in towards the second chicane. A little bit of breathing room now for Foundy. He's got himself a position into 5th. But now Greenwood is under attack from 2 Hondas either side of him. On board with this is DI Ball looking at both of them. He's now on the rear bumper of the Case Pack BMW as he's heading towards the back end of the circuit. Vicious around the outside. That'll be a strong move. He can hold it. He's going to be on the inside for the right-hander. And now we head through the fast left-hander. Ball's having a look down the inside of the Case Pack Beamer. We're on board with Rob Racer, who's now been brought into this. Oh, the Case Pack cars just caught the gravel. And that's allowed Racer through. So thanks to fighting, the Carsburg Civic has managed to get himself up alongside Rob Racer. This is the fight over 10th position. That Civic's come off the back of the grid already. He's trying to go around the outside. That'll be interesting if he can get that done. But Rob's run wide. He holds the inside line, gets the position there. So he's now split the Mercedes. As it looks like Bohr's gone a little bit wide there. Contact between the two of them. The Civic goes sideways. The Mercedes of Bohr goes wide. This is a fantastic battle on board with Rob Racer as he takes a look at the back of the Carsburg Civic into towards the second chicane now. Civic looks towards the inside. Will he be able to make that move come off? Not quite. The Mercedes does have the legs on him already. Looking back at the Civic as we head in towards the back end of the circuit. The Civic goes a little bit light over here. He's still got the Mercedes in front and the Mercedes behind. Trying to make a move as we head in towards the bottom circuit as the Mercedes, a lot of curb there as he heads round, missed the apex. Contact there from the Civic. This is probably going to be a dive into the chicane. Under braking, Civic down the inside. Will he be able to make that move stick? Just about. Bohr's gone a little bit wide over the curb, so the side-by-side now head into the final hairpin. But the Civic has already got the move done. That's how Rob Racer is now around the outside of Bohr. So Cubs and Pronag, these two have been going at it the last lap or so. Pronag, great dive down the inside to battle for 3rd position. Just about gets the move done, gets the car stopped, but Cubs is trying to get the cut back as we head into the first of the 2 chicanes side by side. The Chevrolet isn't going to get around the outside there, but Pronag is defending really heavily now. The Chevrolet's got off on the curb, pair of them side by side, really good run. The move looks like it's going to be done before they hit the second chicane. There you go, the Chevrolet is now up into 3rd position, while behind looks like a Biss is trying to get in on that fight with Pronag. So down towards the back end of the circuit. Little bit of breathing space now for Cubs as Pronag has founded by Biss and MTG Vicious behind. Biss, so a little bit of contact by the look of it with Vicious. He's now lost the position, so that is 3rd, 4th, 5th position down. A little bit further on, the Civics have now caught up to this pair. Vicious has lost a position there to W810 Tom. Pronag losing position to founded by Biss, the Cataclysm Mercedes. All of them trying to catch Cowboy in the AMS Honda in front. Pronag now trying to get back past the Cataclysm Mercedes. You look back from the Honda. that's leading this fight. You can see the two Hondas behind are side by side. There's an Audi stopped on the road. The MS car's still got a little bit of breathing room as we've got Pronag versus, as we've got Tom now is in front of MTG Vicious. Vicious though has a good run out of the chicane. He's going to maybe get one position, maybe two as he's down the inside of Pronag as we head through this fourth gear corner. The MS car's all sideways. That's how I found it to get through. This is now a five-way fight as you've got Boar and Rob Racer have got themselves in amongst these guys as well. The Hondas are still trying to fight their way through on the inside. The Mercedes on the outside. Tom desperately trying to hang on there. Just about misses the barrier. Pronag's going to get hung out to dry. That's going to allow Boar down the inside. He's got one car. He's going to have a crack around a second car. Down the inside of the chicane. Doesn't manage to get the move on the Carspun Civic. But that is allowing the AMS car. It's founded by Abyss and MTG Vicious to clear off in the distance. So the three Hondas now running together. The AMS cars trying to get back in front of MTG Vicious. The pair of them caught them up pretty quickly, but now it looks like Tom has just about got the legs on the AMS car as he head down the start and finish straight. Tom's going to go for a move into turn number one. Vicious has cleared up off the superior top speed of that setup, is clearly paying dividends to the pair of them. The two, MTG Vicious and W8N Tom, interestingly now running the same setup. So whatever they've done is a little bit better than what the AMS car's done. See, they've now got a bit of a gap as Tom is having a crack down the inside of Vicious heading through this fast corner. That's not really going to work. Vicious has run himself off the road. Tom and the AMS Hot Oils car caught up to Founded by Abyss a little bit further up the road. Driving down the inside of the chicane from a long way back. Founded has to back out of that one as the Honda's alongside of him. That's another position gain for the Honda. Now he's up into fourth place. Another boring victory, you could say, for Track Saban. Championship winner takes another victory in this championship fight. Second place on the road is going to go to UKOG Crony, with Cubs looking like he's just going to hold on for third position. We take a look at the top 12 results. Track Saban with the victory, UKOG Crony in second, Cubs in third, W8N Tom recovers back to fourth from the back of the grid. Founded by Abyss in fifth, Kinky Cowboys in sixth, MTG Vicious in seventh after that off. Rob Racer and DI Boar inseparable in the championship, inseparable in this race in 8th and 9th. R Greenwood rounds out the top 10 after a strong start. Pronag in 11th, Captain Storer in 12th. The final race of the night will be a full reverse grid, so Devon's Boogeyman and Ghostly Nightwolf line up on the front row. Row 2 sees Penfold's Mercedes and Captain Storer's Audi, with Pronag racing and R Greenwood on row 3. If race 2 was good, then this is going to be something else. So for the final time this season, lights go out, away we go. The two Audis get a solid start, but the BMW in the middle is going to go straight up. A lot of them from 5th on the grid. That looks like our Greenwood's probably going to get himself up towards the lead. He's got towards the front as they head towards turn 1. Contact between the BMW and the Audis, put them off already. Saban's caught up in that as well, but it's Mercedes 1-2 as Penfold leads this race. Pronag's got himself there into second place, and I believe Boar has got himself into third. Vicious has got caught up in the melee. He's fourth as you head towards the back end of the circuit. Penfold leads, Pronag second, Boar in third, Vicious in fourth. That is the top 4 in this motor race. You've got Founded by Abyss, I believe that is. In 5th place was Crony for close company as we look back from Pronag at Boar, who's going to be looking to make a move. Vicious is though around the outside. The Honda already trying to make his way onto the podium as you head into the back end of the chicane. Boar goes for a dive. That doesn't come off, but Penfold leads this race side by side now. Pronag versus Boar as we head towards the bottom. Hairpin. Pronag just about holds him off, but Vicious is down the inside for third position. The Honda's going for a podium straight away. Maybe he'll be able to get the win in this race. He's just about got the move into Boar as we head through the final chicane and down towards the final corner. So Crony's been catching Founded for the last half a lap or so. He has a look down the inside, doesn't manage to get that move off, but Founded now is having a look on DI Boar for third place. Crony though is going to have a look around the outside of the pair of them. Will that move come off? Doesn't look like it has. You've got the Chevrolet between the two Mercedes, contact between the pair of them. Founded just about holds on. Boar's down the inside, he just about manages to hang on. Fantastic racing between the three of them. Rubbing his racing in touring cars, and these guys are taking that literally. Contact between Founded and Boar. Oh, his car's off. That looks like Vicious is off. He's got Pronag off as well. I think it is. That leaves a massive gap round to Penfold, who leads this race. The Autobright Direct Team Hard cars now running 1 and 2. This is the first time this season that's happened. You got the AMS cars now managed to get himself involved in this fight as well. He's now up into 4th place. Fantastic start from Cowboy. As you look behind, that's founded by Abyss with Rob Racer for company. Rob's down the inside and head through this fast section. There's Saban. Saban's already got himself up into this fight as well from the back of the grid. Vicious as well as recovering down the inside from Rob Racer. Fantastic move. He's run wide though. The AMS car just about hangs on in 4th place. Fantastic battle. Let's have a look at what happened between Pronag and Vicious. We're on board with Pronag looking back at Vicious. So let's see what went on here as we head towards the second of the chicanes. This is where it all kicked off between the pair of them. Vicious just gets into the back on the entry of the corner. Pronag goes to turn in. Vicious has nowhere to go, and there's contact between the pair of them, forcing them off. Let's take a look at this from Vicious's point of view. You've got Pronag in front, Penfold in, and there's Penfold in the lead as well. As you head down towards the second hairpin, Pronag's going down the inside by the looks of Penfold. Penfold breaks a little bit early as Pronag has to check up. Vicious is into the back of them. Not really much there. You've got to say that looks like a racing incident to start with. So the two team hard cars running together. Boar's managed to catch up with his teammates. Is there going to be an element of team orders here? This is the battle for first place. It's a 4-car fight as you've got the AMS Honda and you've got Crony behind as well, riding on board with Dave Bohr, DI Bohr. The AMS car's now up into 3rd position on Crony. Tries around the outside. Crony down the inside of the pair of them. Fantastic move from the Chevrolet to move up into 2nd place. That's going to allow Saban to catch up to the battle as well, but it's still Penfold that leads. Penfold has lost his rear gunner in this fight. You've got to think now that Penfold's going to be vulnerable to an attack from Crony, but Saban is now attacking Penfold's teammate of Bohr. The AMS Honda's trying to go around the outside for 3rd place. I don't think that's going to work. That's going to be a bit of a daft move now as we head towards the flat chicane. Bohr just about holds on. That Mercedes really sideways. So Bohr has been soaking up the pressure from Saban behind. Saban's got himself into 4th place. Down the inside goes championship leader, our current champion, Track Saban. He gets the move on Dave Bohr. The AMS Honda's going to be trying to follow through. Crony still hasn't been able to get past Bohr's teammates. Autobright Direct Team Hard still lead this fight. But Vicious and the AMS car are going to be looking to get past Bohr sooner rather than later, so they can have a crack at Crony for the win in this race. Saban already got a little bit of a gap. The AMS car's trying to go down the inside. That doesn't work. That's going to leave him vulnerable to an attack from MTG. Vicious behind, right on the rear bumper now. The AMS car on the Autobright Direct car as we head through the back end of the circuit. You see Rob Racer's managed to close in on this fight as well. The AMS car's gone sideways. Vicious is round the outside. So it's now Vicious's turn to have a crack at Dave Bohr. Bohr's gone into the gravel, he's off. He doesn't like that chicane. Maybe the tyres are going early on that Mercedes. That is now Vicious up into 4th place. The AMS car's still not done though. They're still trying to have a crack. Correction, yeah, that is 4th place there. As you see, Crony is now on the back of Penfold in front. The two Hondas line astern. You've got Rob Racer there behind, and W810 Tom has managed to catch up as well on board with the AMS Honda. As we head towards the final corner, down the inside they go. Will they get a nice clean run through this corner? Yes, they do. 4th place now for the AMS Honda. You see W810 Tom is trying to go around the outside of Rob Racer. Drag race between the two Hondas as we head across the start-finish line. Vicious has been a lot stronger throughout this evening's racing down the straights. He gets the move done. Penfold still holds on to the lead, but he's now under pressure from Crony. Crony a little bit of a tap behind. Just locks up under braking. Penfold just about still holding on to the lead of this motor race, but it's now a 3-car fight as Saban has managed to catch up to the back of Crony. We're on board with Penfold now. Take a look back. Saban's off a little bit wide, but Crony's having a look around the outside. Fantastic move from the Automation Chevrolet in that new livery. But Saban has also closed up now. Will this be 2 places lost in a couple of corners for Penfold? Just about for now holds on. Little bit of a slide through that corner. That's going to allow Saban to close up. The difficulty here is if Crony can't get away, if Saban can't get past Penfold, that's going to bring Vicious, and it looks like DLA Ball back into this fight as well. Saban now right on the rear bumper through this fast section. Penfold's a little bit slow through there. Saban has to check up. There's no choice there as you head into the chicane. Crony's already got a decent gap. Saban's going to want to try and get past Penfold as quickly as possible here. You see Vicious and the AMS car have now managed to catch up. Vicious clips the gravel, whilst the AMS car to have a run at him. Saban's not done with Penfold. Trying around the outside, goes to the switchback. Doesn't quite get the run that he needs. These two Mercedes are pretty evenly matched here. Saban is going to have to work for this if he does want to take second position away from the Auto Bright Direct car. But now the AMS Honda has now managed to get into this fight as well. The battle between the pair of them, the pair of Mercedes, has started to unravel Saban's chance for victory here. The AMS car's down the inside. He's right in the rear bumper of Penfold. Will he be able to get the move for second place in this race? Penfold gets a bad run, but it looks like Saban is going to get an even better run than the AMS Honda. That Mercedes really does have the legs on that AMS car. He must be set up for the corners in this week's racing. Saban around the outside of Penfold to take second place away from him. Vicious has managed to get past the AMS car. So riding on board with Penfold, this is the battle for third place now between himself and Vicious. The AMS car is now really not a factor in this race so far. But Vicious really late on the brakes. He gets right into the back of the Mercedes. Will Vicious be able to get himself onto a podium playing position as we head down towards the last hairpin before the flat out chicane? He's around the outside. Will he be able to switch back to the inside to get the move done? Not quite. Penfold's got him covered. Really good defensive driving here from Penfold. He's probably not got the pace of these guys, but Vicious is down the inside into the chicane. This is going to be brave if he can hold it around the outside sideways for Honda. The AMS car's now getting involved in this. Penfold moves over to the cover. The pair of them are off. They're off. They're off in the grass. Penfold just trying to hold on there. He rejoins in front of W8N Tom. We don't see what happens there, but Tom has got the position on Penfold now, so Penfold down in 5th. This is Crony versus Saban for the win. Saban around the outside of the final corner. Will he be able to get the drag down? The Mercedes has been really strong, but the aerodynamics of the Chevrolet might help him. But Saban has now got the lead. Will it be 3 wins from 3 from track? Saban, he's going to be he's in the prime position to try and get that move done. Crony's going to try and come back at him late on the brakes. That Chevrolet is really good on the brakes there. That's allowed Vicious to close in as Saban runs a little bit wide. This is now a 3-car fight for the lead. Saban is not done though. He's trying to go for the move, trying down the inside of the second chicane. We're on board now with MTG Vicious, having a look at this battle. Saban's probably going to line a move, try and fire it down the inside here. Not quite. The Chevrolet's wise to it. Crony's just about got him covered, going for one of his first victories of the season. Crony now after a solid run at Laguna Seca. So headed through the back end of the circuit, Crony, Saban, Vicious, that is your top 3. They are that close. What you've got to be careful now is that W8N Tom in second Honda is starting to close in. Saban is going to want to try and get this move done sooner rather than later. Crony turns in a little bit early. He's run the curb. Oh, he's off. He's in the gravel. That's going to promote Saban and it's going to promote Vicious coming to 1 and 2 in this race. So Vicious in front of Saban. This is the fight for the lead. These two have been battling pretty hard, swapping positions. Heading into turn 1, Saban just gets the dive down the inside. That's allowed Tom to close up. This again is a 3-car fight for the lead as we head through the first chicane. You've got Saban versus Vicious. Tom in the Carspunk Civic can't be counted out just yet. We're riding on board with the Carspunk car. We head down into the second of the 2 chicanes. Vicious looks like he's trying to line a move up on the current champion track. Saban doesn't quite get the move done. The car goes a little bit sideways as we head down again towards the back end of the circuit. Will he fancy a late dive? That Honda looks so much more planted through this faster section than the Mercedes. The pair of them are running pretty close now. Tomo is getting even closer as we have a look at Vicious. This is on board the track. Saban looking back at MTG Vicious and W8N Tom. First, second and third in this race. The back Honda goes a little bit sideways. Vicious using all of the curb trying to catch up with the team track car as he heads through the chicane. These 3 are nose to tail. They're completely inseparable. Vicious gets a better run through the chicane than the Mercedes though. Will he fancy a move down the inside here? He has a look, but Saban just about has him covered. The 3 of them running absolutely nose to tail. This race isn't done just yet as we head towards the final couple of corners of this race. Through the chicane, throwing it over the curbs. Tom's got a good run now as we head out of the chicane down towards the final corner. As we head through, just about manages to hold on. Tom now got himself up into second position. It is going to be a drag race to the line between the three of them, but it looks like Saban in the Mercedes just about has the legs, and he's going to hold on to close out his championship season with a third victory out of 3 races tonight. So fantastic racing there, confirming the full order. Track Saban takes the final win of the night, the final win of the season. W8N Tom and MTG Vicious complete the podium in the Hondas. Second, third and fourth go in the way of Hondas, with Kinky Cowboy in fourth, Rob Racer in fifth, Cubs in sixth. So strong run from that Chevrolet tonight. UKG Crony in seventh, Rob Racer in eighth, Penfold ninth, DI Ball 10th, Pronag Racing 11th, and R Greenwood 1, 2, 3 in the BMW rounds out the top 12. So after 30 races, Track Saban is confirmed as the champion of the Team Heart Online Touring Car Series. After his results today, Rob Racer reclaims second place from DI Boar, with MTG Vicious finishing the season in fourth. Thanks to a strong finish, UKOG Crony claims fifth from Captain Stories Audi by just 41 points. So that completes the touring car season, but join us again soon for the start of an all-new series with all new cars and all new teams.